Okay? We're looking at the Mashiach of Shai, what he said when he come back, what he's going to do. And it's very important that we see this because we've seen in Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, the 8th verse, the Most High divided to the nation their inheritance when he separated all the nations, right? So let's see what the Mashiach of Shai going to do when he come back. In Matthew, the 25th chapter, 31st verse. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He coming back with all the holy angels with him. Then he going to sit on the throne of his glory. This first kingdom going to build Mashiach Yahushua on the power of the Most High to get everything in order and to make it a righteous kingdom. That's why David prophesied in Psalms 110 and 1, the Most High said unto my power, who is the Mashiach Yahushua, if you didn't know, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. That's what the Mashiach Yahushua is coming back to do. Under the power of the Most High, he's going to make his enemies his footstool. But when he come back, listen, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. All nations will be gathered before Mashiach Yahushua. And he shall separate them one from another. Just like the Most High separated all the nations in Deuteronomy 32 and 8. The same thing Mashiach Yahushua is coming back to do because he's not with all these nations being together. And saying they won. That was against the law. And before him shall be gathered all nations. Every last nation that's on this earth going to be gathered before him. And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left, right? So he's going to put the sheep on his right hand. He told you in Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we're going to put the sheep on his right hand. That's why it behooves anyone that's hearing my voice to change and want to know what it is that we're bringing out to change, to be part of this remnant that he's saying, hey, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father. And the only way you bless of the Most High, if you do what he say do in Deuteronomy 28 and 1 and 2. Let's see. Blessed of my Father. Let's find out. Come ye blessed of my Father, right? Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. And it shall come to pass the future, if, that's a condition, thou shalt hearken and listen diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, our power, your power, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, to observe, to do all his commandments. You ain't running from the laws and the commandments of the Most High. You want to be blessed and to do all his commandments. Not just hear them, but you got to do them. Which I command thee this day, that the Most High, thy power, your power, Israel, will set thee on high. How high? Above all nations of the earth. That's what he's getting ready to tell you right now. This is what's happening right now. When he's separating the sheep from the goats. He's going to set us on high above all nations of the earth. Most High will. And all these blessings, see, shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken, listen unto the voice of the Most High, thy power. Hear Mashiach Yahushua, who is the word of the Most High. Let's hear what he's saying. He said, and going back to Matthew 25 and 33, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left, right? So verse 34 says, then shall the king, who was Mashiach Yahushua, say unto them on his right hand, who are the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Right? That's why I go into the last book of the Bible, Revelation 14 and 8 and Revelation 22:14. Revelation 14 and 8. 14 and 12, Salakia. Revelation 14 and 12. Here is the patience of the saints. We didn't define the saints as the 12 tribes of Israel. Psalms 148:14. Don't forget. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of a Mashiach Yahushua. You see that? So now, I called out Revelation 14:8. Let me read it. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, America is fallen, that great city America, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. You hear that? Influenced them all to be wicked. Revelation 22 and 14. Remember, you're going to say, hey, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed. Matthew 25 and 34. Come ye blessed of my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. We're in the last book, Revelation 22 and 14. Blessed are they that do his what? Commandments. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. And the gates into the city is, the 12 tribes of Israel. 3 gates on each direction, north, south, east, and west, which represent the 12 tribes going into one of them gates. So now, going back to Matthew 25, verse 34, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. That's why, remember, we read in 2 Ezra 7, he said in verse 10, 2 Ezra 7 and 10, and I said, it is so, Most High. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes, for the Israelites' sake, I made this world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done, where we die. But he made the whole world for our sakes. So now, verse 41 in Matthew the 25th chapter. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, who are the goats, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. See, there it is. So you have a choice, people. Choose life or death. You got a choice to choose life or death. Which one do you choose? You come out to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. This is not a hard thing. That's why he said in 1 John 5 and 3, for this is the love of the Most High that we keep his commandments. Commandments are not grievous. But you want to be wicked and you want to go some other way, you try it. Ecclesiasticus, the 15th chapter, the 17th verse. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. Whatever you like is going to be given you. You can choose life or death. That's your only choices. Let's go to, hold on. Second Ezra 7 and 59. Second Ezra 7 chapter, 59th verse. Second Ezra 7 and 59. But this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people who are the children of Israel while he lived, saying, choose thee life, that thou mayest live. Say, choose life that you may live. And the life is by keeping the Most High's laws, the law of life. See, we always try and find some other way. Look, go to 2 Ezra 14. And let's read verse 28. Hear these words, O Israel. Hear these words. Hear what the Most High has to say, O Israel. Our fathers, this our forefathers, at the beginning were strangers in Egypt, from whence they were delivered out of Egypt, captivity, 12 tribes of Israel, and received the law of life. You see? Received the law of life. See, that law brings to everlasting life. The laws of the Most High that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High, and received the law of life, which they kept not. We did keep the Most High's laws, which ye also have transgressed after them. Then was the land, even the land of Zion, parted among you by lot. But your fathers and ye yourselves have done unrighteousness, meaning not keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, and have not kept the ways which the highest commanded you. And for as much as he is righteous, he is a righteous judge, the Most High is, he took from you in time the thing that he had given you. And now are ye here, and your brethren among you. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding, and reform your heart, reform your minds, the way you think, ye shall be kept alive. And after death, ye shall obtain mercy, not getting something you do deserve. You got to change, though. Over and over again, it's the same thing. You got to come back to the Most High and do what he says to do. And keeping his laws, his rules and regulations. I ain't said that all day. See, keeping his rules and regulations. Y'all know about that. That's what it's saying. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the unrighteous shall be declared. That's why it's very important that we see this and understand this and overstand this. Deuteronomy 4:1. Deuteronomy 4:1. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, the first verse. Now therefore hearken, listen, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that ye may live. You hear that? I'll read it again. Now therefore hearken, listen, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which the Most High thy power, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Most High your power, Israelites, which I command you. That's why the last thing he told us, one of the last things he said, as a direct commandment in Revelations 22:18, where they have done just what he said not to do. They did just what he said not to do. What he said to do, they're not doing it. That's why you go to Revelation 22:18. He said, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. So you wonder why people being plagued? People done changed the Bible. So I can reach over and get Bibles to show you that scriptures are taken out of the Bible. It's point blank. They're not even there. You would never know that even exists. That's what he said. You add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. And he's talking to the Israelites, because we the only ones that's going to go into the holy city. And if your name not written in the book of life, Revelations 20 and 15, it says, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Point blank. That's what this is all about, that our names can be written in the book of life. Or you find something else that you trying to accomplish in being in this truth. If it's not trying to make it to the kingdom and your name being written in the book of life. Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus 14. Ecclesiasticus 14 and 20. Ecclesiasticus 14 and 20. Blessed is the man that does meditate good things in wisdom. Blessed is the man that meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. You see, that's why you got to be thinking about what these scriptures say day and night, meditating on the laws of the Most High and what's right from wrong, and looking at things and comparing it to what you've learned and what you're actually learning. It's very important. That's why I say 2 Timothy 2:15. 2 Timothy 2:15. Second Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Right? A workman. I mean, it's going to take work, man, that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You hear that? Dividing the word of truth. That means precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. You see? Mark 12:24. Mark 12 and 24. And the Master say, answering said unto them, do ye not therefore err, because ye know not the scriptures, neither the power of the Most High. See? He said, do you not therefore err, because ye know not the scriptures, neither the power of the Most High. Matthew 22 and 29. Matthew 22 and 29. People don't know the power of the Most High. If they did, they would fear the Most High. Ain't no way in the world you know the power of the Most High, you don't fear him. That's why he said, hey, Matthew 22, 29. My shall say, answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High. You see. 1 John 4 and 6. People are erring. 1 John 4 and 6. Not knowing these scriptures and what it's really talking about. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High heareth us. Hear that? We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High, the little that he allow us to know in part and prophesy in part of him, heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. So those that are not of the Most High, they can't hear this, because they're not of the Most High. They're not going to hear this. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Here we know the spirit of truth. What's the truth? The laws of the Most High. Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. 1 John 1 and 6. If we say we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, you walk in ignorance, not knowing, and stupidity, we lie. If we say we have fellowship with the Most High, which is to him, and walk in darkness, that the people have been put in gross darkness, gross ignorance, this great awakening, all of a sudden we're woke and now we act like if we say we have fellowship with him, with the Most High, and walk in darkness, ignorance, because we ain't studied to show ourselves approval to the Most High, we lie and do not the truth. See that? You ain't keeping the laws of the Most High. You ain't keeping the commandments of the Most High if you walking in darkness. So that's what the people is in gross darkness. So you got to understand, to come out of that, you got to come back to the Most High. And the only way you're going to come back to the Most High, he said, if you love me, keep my commandments. In 1 John 2 and 15, he said, love not the world. You don't love this world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. 1 John 2 and 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. So all y'all talking about, they be saying, oh, the Most High is in here, for a lesser word. But y'all don't say that. I'm not saying what it is that y'all say, because that's still dealing with an entity that the Most High said we supposed to be circumspect and don't let the name of other guys come out of their mouth. He that said, I know him, he that said, I know the Most High, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. And the truth, which is the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily, truly, is the love of the Most High perfected. The love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. Hereby know we that we are in him. See. Better ask somebody. 2 John 6. 2 John the 6th verse. And this is love. This is love. That we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that ye have heard from the beginning. Ye should walk in it. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that a Mashiach is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an anti-Mashiach. Understand this. Because there's many that's coming to this world and they don't believe that a Mashiach has come in the flesh. They waiting for him to come in the flesh for the first time. When he come back, he say, look, Isaiah 47 and 3. Y'all waiting for this man to come back. Look what he said. Are you coming back? Isaiah 47 and 3. He said, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. That means he going to take your skirt and put it over your head. Everything about you going to be discovered. Your wickedness. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen, because you got your dress and your skirt over your head. Seeing everything that you done did that's wicked. I would take vengeance. So Mashiach Yahushua, who y'all call Jesus Christ, he said, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man, because he's coming in his angelic power. We just heard about it. We heard about it in Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in glory, in his glory, with the holy angels, 200 million. Revelation 9:16 says, 200 million angels he's coming with to rule in his kingdom for 1,000 years. Oh yeah. You ready for this? Better be ready. Let's look at Isaiah 9 the 9th chapter. And verse 16. Isaiah 9 and 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err. See, the leaders, the ones that's over these congregations and these different religions, because the Most High never gave us religion, He gave us laws, statutes, commandments. You should know this by now. If not, go back to number one of this lesson and go through them. You'll hear it over and over again. It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err. So all you that's over these churches that's not keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws that the Most High wrote with His finger, you cause the people to err. And they that are led of them are destroyed, right? They that are led of them are destroyed. So go to Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6. So the people are destroyed. They that are led of them are destroyed. That's why I'm trying to warn you. Y'all got to come up out of these religions. Because you're not going to sit there and teach on any topic for hours and hours and hours. Ain't nobody doing it. They got to give you about it. That's why y'all can't handle over and over again, hour after hour after hour of this word. Because you're used to just getting an hour. They come in and make you go get your feel good, make you feel good, and then you go home and sin. Because you don't know the laws. You ain't been taught the laws, what's right from wrong, according to the Most High's rules and regulations. So how are you saying that you're righteous? That's why I say the leaders cause them to err. That's why I'll be on the porch shop eating preachers, straight up. But they say you can eat anything, all you have to do is pray over it. I can show you scripture that they go to validate that, and that's a lie. You mean to tell me my Master Shai ate pork? Answer that question. All you just say you can pray over whatever. He ate catfish. He ate everything that eat doo-doo. Yes or no? That's why it said Hosea 4 and 6. My people, that's the Most High's people, who are the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You hear that? Destroyed for lack of knowledge. And they got you so you don't want to learn nothing. You just want to remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's wrong. But that's real. That's real talk. I got a lot of things going on with my computer. Just a moment. I have to deal with things whenever I bring out topics of this sort, because they don't want you to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They want you to remain in the congregation of the dead. Hosea 4 and 6 again. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Man, there's a whole lot of things going on today. That thou shalt, he said, because you have rejected this knowledge that's coming out, Moses said, I will reject you, and thou shalt be no priest to him. Why? Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. You forgot the law of the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will also forget thy children. You the same children that the Most High said, these men of old that forgot the law of the Most High, here you are on the earth now. You the same ones that said, crucify Mashiach Yahushai and let his blood be on us and on our children. You the same children that they made that vow to, and here we are. That's why the Most High said in verse 12, he said, my people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declare unto them idolatry. For the spirit of whoredoms has caused them to err. Yet that the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err. And they have gone a whoring from under their power. Most I call you a bunch of whores, bunch of hoes. Because you done went away from the Most High's laws and commandments and telling people that they not under the commandments, not under the laws. You can't pick and choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. The Most High gonna get you for that. Understand this. He said they sacrifice unto the tops of the mountains and burn incense unto the hills, under oaks and polars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredoms. Like you committed whoredom on the Most High, said your daughters gonna be a bunch of hoes. He said your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. Your spouses, marriage, whoever you married, you're gonna commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit, this is what he say, when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, but themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots, prostitutes. Therefore the people that does not understand shall fall. Hey, though thou Israel, talking to us Israelites, play the harlot, you're going to play the prostitute, you're going to play the hoe, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Beth-aven, nor swear, the Most High liveth, for Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Most High will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. That's the northern tribes. Ephraim represents the northern tribes is joined to idols. Just let them alone. That's why it's hard to get these northern tribes back on track. He said he joined the idols. He said let them alone. But he's calling them back. At that time he said let them alone. They were joined, they went into the Assyrian captivity and they went wild, man, you know, all them years dealing with the Assyrians, learning their way. Looking at, they want to go back to Egypt. They got Egypt and they got Assyrian captivity. They learned all those years under them in the wilderness and was hanging out, all 12 tribes till King Solomon did what he did in marrying these strange women and making temples, idol temples and so forth, going into worship their gods, their idols and so forth. Most High split the kingdom. And that's when Ephraim went off, man. We had already made a calf that Moses seen when he came down from getting the commandments from the Most High and chopped it up into powder and put it in the water and made us drink it. Made Israelites drink it, I'll say. So they know about that calf. But Jeroboam, who was an Ephraimite, made 2 calves. Not only one, he made 2 calves and said, this who brought us out of Egypt. How disrespectful is that to the Most High? That's why when you look at this Bible, you look at a lot of things of our story that we went through and we did to the Most High to offend him. It's sad, man, for us to be calling on him for everything that we need and we are not doing what he said to do until this day as it's written. It's really serious, man. But everybody can feel like they want to feel and do what they want to do. But in the end, there's going to be a judgment. There's going to be a judgment. That's why it's about changing for the better. And that's the better before the Most High and not man. Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink, strong influences on the people. They are swallowed up of wine. That's influence. That wine is influence. And plus he's talking about literally wine and strong drink. But it's talking about how they've been influenced to teach these lies, to have our people erring from the Most High, saying we ain't under the law. They are swallowed up of wine. They're influencing the people. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision The Most High said this, I had a vision, but the Most High ain't came to you and said nothing. They stumble in judgment because they ain't going to make right judgment. How you going to make a right judgment when you ain't talking about we under the law? How you going to determine what's the right judgment if you ain't going to this Bible to say what is right from wrong? You say it's okay to eat pork. You say it's all right to do this and do that. But I bet you when it come to you, you want to pick and choose what laws can be done. We ain't under the law. The law said you can't commit adultery. I bet if you married, you ain't going to want no man to sleep with your woman. I bet you're going to believe in that law, and y'all believe in the tithes. Pass the plate. Will a man rob God? You believe in that? Huh. You say, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. You better hear what he's saying. He said, for all tables. That's what you eating from. We eating right now, this word of the Most High. He said, all tables are full of vomit, nasty, and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Ain't no place clean. Not if you, think about it. Y'all go to church, and then when y'all finish church, y'all have dinner. And y'all got hog maws and pork chops and ham hocks and chitlins on the first of the year. And some of y'all still, y'all know I'm not lying, y'all still doing it. And black-eyed peas for customs and so forth. Y'all got celebration of Halloween in the church. I done seen it with my own eyes. And went to the slaughterhouse and got all kind of nasty, bloody animal blood and guts and heart, all the stuff they cut out, organs and stuff, and skin children. Y'all celebrate Christmas. Talking about that's a Mashiach Yahushua birthday. You ain't never bought a present for a Mashiach Yahushua in your life. Y'all bring the Christmas tree in your house, and y'all bring the Christmas tree in the tree. It's a Christmas tree in the church, and y'all bow down to that idol. Because you got to bow down to put presents under it, and you got to bow down to get the presents from under it. So you bowing down to that idol, which is a Christmas tree. That tells you in Jeremiah 10:1-5. You're doing all this. He goes on to say, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? How you going to understand this? Them that are weaned from the milk. You can't be no babes in this. And drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Like you go to this scripture, then you go to another scripture, like we was dealing with mercy and grace. We prove who the mercy and grace is through the precepts. Right? We prove righteousness through the precepts. We prove who the saints are through the precepts. That's what it's talking about. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. See? Line upon line. Sometimes you might need a line. Like you say, hey, we in the ghettos and slums, we the first one fired, the last one hired. You know, we in the streets marching, crying out, we shall overcome, and no justice, no peace. So you go to Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourning, we mourning. All the things I just said, that's it right there. In the Gatesdale language, ain't no leaders. We don't have no leaders. Every leader that's rise up to try and do anything with us, they kill them. They've been killed. You see? But you go there for that little. Because we ain't talking about the color of the Jews, so you don't need to continue to read. You see? You just need that little part. Judah mourning. That's it. All those things that I said represent Judah mourning. And we all, 12 tribes come from the waters of Judah. So we all mourning. All 12 tribes. So now, let's look at Wisdom of Solomon 17, chapter, first verse. No, I don't think that. Wisdom of Solomon 17:1. For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. You hear that? Great is the Most High's judgments, which is a punishment for breaking the Most High's laws and commandments, and cannot be expressed. Cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. Unnurtured souls have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness. That's why this great awakening is bringing us out of this dark veil. Because dark is ignorant and not knowing. Veil is what covers you of forgetfulness. Being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. This will happen. We were troubled with strange apparitions. And you gotta understand, they had what they call Project Blue Beam or something of that nature. I think it's called that. Where they can send holograms 50 miles away in the sky. 50 miles away. Send a hologram in the sky. So a lot of times you're seeing things will be holograms. They got that ability to do that. But here it says, in trouble with strange apparitions, for neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sound about them. Just hearing water, you'll see nothing, but you hear water, like waterfall, just falling. The sound of water falling. And sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. This is what the Most High was dealing with in bringing them plagues on the Egyptians too. He said, they're hearing water falling, and visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. Visions of spirits coming at them. No power of the fire might give them light. You could not light fire. That's why people died from darkness. No power of the fire might give them light. Fire could not, it was darkness where fire did not supersede the darkness. That's what he's saying. No power of fire might give them light. Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Hear that? The stars could not do anything, no matter how bright they were shining, to interfere with the Most High's darkness that he put on. Y'all gotta hear this. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself. A fire as dark as ever, where no fire could bring any light, you could see anything. You light a fire, you still couldn't see nothing. That's darkness of the Most High. And he said, no power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Listen, only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself. Can you imagine? It's dark, the stars, no matter the moon, you light a fire and still you in darkness, and all of a sudden a ball of fire just appear in the room. That's what it said, a fire kindled of itself. Very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. Hear that? They said, can you imagine that? You were in darkness and everything that you try to light does not supersede the darkness. And here's this ball of fire just appears, and you know they're scared. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. See, that's why I tell y'all, I gotta fear the Most High, because he's showing you this already happened. And it's gonna be, look, y'all gotta understand, y'all, maybe y'all don't understand, and we're gonna continue, but I'm gonna show you what the Mashiach Shai said for the time that we gotta see and go through. Matthew 24 and 21. He said, for then, Matthew 24 and 21, he said, for then, in the time we live in now, shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. This is the time we living in. He said, and except those days that we living in now should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. He's trying to kill off everybody. I think they said, on the Geiger stone, it said down to 500 million people. And there's what, 7-8 billion people on the earth? And except he said, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, we know who the elect are. Isaiah 45 and 4. The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Understand this. Going back to, like he said, no matter what we read in this Bible, he said the times we're going to go through ain't going to never be. That great tribulation like it's never been in the earth or ever shall be again. That's why we got to be tuned into the Most High. He's our only hope. He's the only help for anyone to hear my voice. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel and the remnant of those nations that's going to be going to the kingdom to do their jobs or whatever they're going to do. Whatever the Most High have you doing. Look. Wisdom of Solomon 17. Verse 8. For they that promise to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul, like a doctor, were sick themselves. They could do nothing. They were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. But though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents. This is what they seeing. This is what they looking at. What they call apparitions. Apparitions, like holograms. We call them holograms today. They seeing these things. They seeing. Yet being scared with beasts that pass by and hissing of serpents. And you don't know if it's going to bite you or kill you or not. They died for fear. You hear that? Oh, you don't want to fear the Most High, huh? They died for fear. They scared them to death. But they died for fear. What y'all think that fear mean? It mean to be scared, to be afraid. And they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided, because he was bringing them apparitions, them holograms, like what we call holograms. He was bringing them into them, left and right. For wickedness condemned by her own witness is very tremorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasts grievous things. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the security which reason offereth. And the only reason that we have that's offered to us is to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments. And the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. You hear that? But they, sleeping the same sleep that night, this one night, y'all, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottom of inevitable hell. Hear that? Came out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, monstrous holograms. I know what holograms, that's what it's talking about. They seeing these things. Monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted. Some of them, like I tell you, in verse 10, they died for fear. It's telling you here, were partially vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted. Their heart was, their mind fell in them for a sudden fear, and not looked for came upon them. Why you gotta wait till this fear come upon you by the Most High doing these things? I mean, you hear what it said? These things happen. It says, verse 8 says, for they that were promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear. They were afraid themselves, worthy to be laughed at. That's you understand. The Most High got a sense of humor. Don't get it twisted. He got a sense of humor. Look, verse 15. Were probably vexed with monstrous apparitions. They seeing monsters. Apparitions mean, in their vision. Remember, it's this one night of darkness that they seeing monsters in the air. Scared them to death. Were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted. Their heart fell in them for a sudden fear. Hear that? Suddenly they were afraid, they were scared, and not looked for came upon them. So then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. You hear that? Shut up in a prison without iron bars, y'all. That's like scared to death, and they ain't going nowhere because to their mind, they can't go nowhere because they done bought monstrous right there in front of them. It's monstrous, and the fire, remember the fire that came, and all these monstrous entities. That's all I can say. Monsters coming at them, scared them to death. That's why I say, and you gotta see the Most High got a sense of humor. That's why in Proverbs 1. In 24, I better hear what he's saying. Proverbs 1 and 24, he said what?